now. It's running.
Okay. Thank you. Hi everyone. Welcome to Dual Exchange. This is the first shoot of video. Today I invited one of my favorite amazing pianists based on Toronto, James Addis. Yay, thank you for coming. And we've already played 3 amazing jazz standard Brazilian songs. So you will stay tuned and enjoy.
Turn out the stars. Turn out the stars. Let eternal darkness hide me. I can't have you beside me. Put out their fires, their endless splendor only reminds me of your tenderness. Stop the ocean's roar. Don't let the rivers run. Let me hear no more the wondrous music of a skylark in the sun. Let it be done. Turn out the stars, turn out the stars, shut off their light. Stop every comet in its magic lonely flight. Let there be night. Turn out the stars. Stop the ocean's roar. Don't let the rivers run. Let me hear no more the wondrous music of a skylark in the sun. Let it be done. Turn out the stars, turn out the stars, shut off their light. Stop
That was really fun, wasn't it?
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
So fun.
thank you. Thank you so much for, actually this one here is James' place. And such a beautiful place, and thank you for inviting me. And thank you for playing with me. And
My pleasure.
that was so fun. Like, you feel it, right? So first things first, I would like to ask you about, so how did you get started your instrument, and so what drew you into your instrument?
So I always wanted to play the drums when I was really little. Drums.
Interesting. Why?
I'm not sure. I think I thought it was cool, and it's more important than that. This is like when I'm like 4 or 5 or something. You don't think super deeply, and I don't remember what I thought really.
Right.
I guess it's where you have the beat, so there's something fun about that. And so there's a drum set that's downstairs. I still have.
Oh, really?
Was the one that I got back then.
Huh.
When I first started, and I was really excited. But my parents said, you have this drum set, but you should at least learn to read music.
Oh, okay.
And so you're
Makes
going to
sense.
need to at least play a little bit of piano so you can learn how to read. And they'd had some advice from someone I think named Jason, if I remember correctly, who was at one of the music stores around here back in the day. I adored him when I was little. I remember thinking he was the coolest
That's so
person.
sweet.
Anyway, and so I should start playing this. And things got derailed because I never went back to the drums. And I'm not particularly interested. This just completely grabbed me. And I'm not sure I could explain quite what it was. All I know is it wasn't very long in my lessons before I wasn't playing the notes I was supposed to on the page. I was adding little things, or I was changing the key, or I was doing whatever else. And so I can only assume that the fact you can play chords and all the other things you can do with this is what drew me to it, and then I just never stopped.
Wow, such an impressive. Yeah, so like starting with just, having fun, and I can't stop having fun, and developing your skill. Wow, such a great story.
And it didn't start from classical training. I ended up doing some classical
Interesting.
training once I got a part of the way through grade school. Like, I don't quite remember exactly when, maybe at some point towards the, I think a little before high school maybe. I don't remember the years. I would have to check on that. But at some point I thought, okay, I want to have some more technique and have some certificates to show for it.
Right.
And so I started to do some of the formal exams and learn some more things. But before that, I really, there were books I learned pieces from and whatever, but it was more about having fun. There was also a fair amount of rock and pop. And then not that long later, as I'd had some of the classical training, I then got introduced to jazz. And that spiraled out of control quickly as well. And that's where I stayed afterwards.
Oh wow, that's quite interesting though, because many of the students I know back in music school, they just started from the classical piano.
Yeah.
But you are different.
Yeah, I started, well, you said about having fun. I started from having fun and having a teacher who was really good at encouraging that at the time.
That's important too.
He liked rock music, was a bit of a rock musician, played all sorts of things,
Cool.
and was just really flexible to let me explore the things I wanted to. And so I'm really grateful to that. And then as I wanted to get a little more serious, he also was able to start me into that. And then by high school, I switched to another teacher who's a wonderful bass, guitar, and piano player named Louis Simao,
Wow,
who was
fantastic.
in Toronto, and now I believe is in somewhere in North Ontario, I think Sudbury. But this fantastic pianist. And so he was being more of a jazz guy. He was able to teach me through that, and then also taught me some of the higher levels of some of the classical things as well.
I see.
But that came late. That was high school. It was, I think, during high school that I switched to taking lessons with Louis.
Wow, fascinating. And then you are interested into getting to the York University music department. That's kind of understandable, but very fascinating to know about your background story. How did you develop your skill? I feel like, me personally, your performance style is kind of mixture of everything. You know what I mean? Like, I can feel like a classical style, but also I can feel, more, I don't know, like how to describe, but pop culture style background. Is that right to say?
I mean, you're the one listening, not me.
Yeah.
I certainly, I draw from all sorts of things. Consciously, I'm drawing from all sorts of different jazz players, mostly. But they're drawing from a lot of things, and so undoubtedly I bring that with me. There's certainly lots of blues, and then a lot of that filters through pop and rock music at times, especially from years ago. I'm sure the classical stuff comes through somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
And some of that indirectly too, if I listen to people like Swainson or Brad Meldau, who have a lot of influence from that, I may get it secondhand from them, and then all sorts of different jazz players who do different things. Yeah, and I just throw it all together and try to draw from whatever I feel like at the time.
I see. Very, very fascinating and really great to know about it.
Hide your heart from sight, lock your dreams at night. It could happen to you. Don't count stars or you might stumble. Someone drops a sigh and down you damble. Keep on I'll spring round when church bells ring. It could happen to you. All I did was wonder how your arms would be, and it happened to me. Hide your heart from sight. Look at dreams at night. It could happen to you. Don't count stars or you might stumble. Someone drops a sign down, you tumble. Keep on aisle spring, round when church bells ring. It could happen to you. All I did was wonder how your arms would be, and it happened, and it happened, and it happened to me.
Who are some of your biggest influence?
And thank you for asking it that way and not asking for me to choose my favorite or something.
Yeah. It's
There's
very hard
inevitably
and
several.
It depends
Yeah.
on the time.
Exactly. Well, certainly one big one would be Esbjörn Swainson, who was a Swedish pianist who unfortunately died too young in the late 2000s. But they were huge in Europe for years and were just starting to make it in the US, had made it to the cover of Downbeat, had big tours planned.
Oh, so I must have listened to him before, maybe.
I would hope so. Because that's a long time ago, and they haven't released new material since then, with the exception of one or two things that have been discovered from vaults of years. Like recently, just a couple of years ago, there was a solo piano album that he had recorded at his house or something that's been released. But very little comes out because he's not around anymore. But he was the first jazz concert I ever saw. Their group was the very first that well, I shouldn't say that. The very first serious jazz that I remember seeing after having started playing. I think I had seen jazz in Chicago before that. But I went to the Jazz Standard in New York, and that blew my mind. And so the CD shelves over there have literally every single one of their albums that they ever recorded. He's huge. Oscar Peterson would be an enormous influence, especially the blues and excitement he imbues into things. And then also those who are inspired by Oscar, like Gene Harris and Monty Alexander, would be huge influences as well. You wouldn't have heard as much of that in what we played. That kind of comes out when I play other styles of stuff, but it's in there always. I've come to really enjoy Chick Corea's playing over the last number of years, including maybe especially some of his harmony and his choices of how to put chords together. Herbie Hancock at times, and also then one of Herbie's big influences, Claire Fisher. I adore his harmony. He has this spectacular, unique way of having all these moving parts within chords that sometimes you look at it vertically on a page and it makes no sense. But they're all moving somewhere, and I draw from that a lot.
I got it, yeah.
And then there's also some of these great young guys out there. Well, young. They're not young anymore. I think of them as that because I discovered them when I was younger, and then they were in their 20s at the time, like a Justin Coughlin or Gerald Clayton. Or people like that. I highly recommended both of them.
I should check.
And Gerald especially has this incredible touch and just a sense of harmony that's up there with the Herbie Hancocks and Chick Coreas of the world. I think he's one of the greats. And I guess I also mentioned Brad Mehldau, so I should say Brad as well. Partially more for his sense of playfulness and bluesiness, which is not what he often gets talked about for. Because he has all these other amazing things he does with his left hand and the classical influences, but he rolls this other playfulness in as well. So I especially the last few years, I've been listening to that more and really enjoying it.
I see.
This was a long answer, but so maybe this gives a taste of when you were saying I bring all these different things in. I genuinely do, and I could pick out things in my playing that come from every one of those names.
Yeah, it's really fun to listen like what your influences. Wow, fantastic answer.
Thank you. evening without you, it's nothing. Eat, baby, you will never come if you never come to me. What's the use of my wonderful dreams, and why would they need me? Where would they lead me without you? It's nothing. Eat, baby, you will never come if you never come to me. What's the use of my wonderful dreams, and why would they need me? Where would they lead me without you? To nowhere, to nowhere, just nowhere. It's nothing, it's nothing.
So, lastly, what is next for you, and any exciting project coming up?
Well, I believe there might be a release gig for
Yes,
something with
I
you in the
know,
near
right?
future, so that I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to.
So we are in the same band, which called TSJC Collective, and we've already recorded our original, and we are believing to do the release show. Also,
And Tomoko wrote some amazing music.
Thank
for
you,
that.
thank you.
She and Sam, who is the other co-leader, both
Thank
wrote
you
some amazing
so
music. It was a lot of fun to play and learn.
yeah,
So
totally.
I'm looking forward to more of that as time permits. And then I absolutely I don't have it lined up with specific people or specific dates in specific places, but I have the full intention of doing some trio or quartet, smaller group things with my own name on them in the near future, and it's just a matter
Please.
of figuring out who's available and exactly what sort of
Right,
thing
that's
I
tricky
want to
things.
do. But I've developed some interesting arrangements and ideas of how to play certain songs. Would love some people to try that out with. So we'll see where that goes over the next couple of years.
Great, sounds nice. So, where can we find you?
So I have a Facebook page. I have a website.
Awesome.
The website is probably most reliable.
Great.
I need to get into the world of the TikToks and Instagrams, so I
You?
may yet
Are you-
have those things. I
Okay,
don't yet.
nice. Please.
So by the time this comes out, maybe I'll have accounts on those. And I mean, if you look up my name through Google, I think it tends to come up towards
Oh.
the top. Thankfully, there aren't very many other James Addises in the world
Yeah.
who aren't far afield from Canada or from long ago, or there's not a lot. So I think JamesAddis.ca will show up on the
Okay,
top. And
so
anything I
I
have will
put
start
on the
from there.
description below.
Will do. Yeah, I'll share that with you.
Awesome. So, yeah, that's everything. So, thank you very much for playing together today, and thank you very much for sticking around. So, please subscribe, like, and stay tuned for the next one.
And thank you for having me
Thank
again.
you.
Really
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
It's nothing.
Sorry, could you please take one more?
Yep.
I messed up the lyric.
That's okay.
What's the use of the waves that will break? What's the use of the waves that will break? Okay. Thank you.